the question. I think this is all completely scam. I saw a video. I show you the video and you will agree that this must be scam. Look at this.
This is from a real life tournament and this is Shijir. He is now in the last discipline and this last discipline is called speed cards. In speed cards you have to memorize the order of a shuffled deck of 52 playing cards as fast as you can, and Shijir is going to try to beat the world record. Now he's setting everything up and in front of him there is a speed cards timer. That means he puts his hands to the left and to the right, and as soon as he lifts up his hands the time runs and he starts going through the cards. Now we are going to start. You see him going very quick through the cards here and he's really actually memorizing them. And as soon as he is done with that, he will stop the timer. You saw that right now. And now he has a bit of time to think about it. And the recall works like that. It's not in the video, but usually the player gets 5 minutes time. And in this 5 minutes, they have another deck of playing cards, but this deck is unshuffled. And they have to bring this unshuffled deck into the order of the deck they just memorized. And when they're done with that, it's all about checking. And here we are already in the checking process. So an arbiter is checking together with the competitor. It's all about having everything correct and no mistake, because otherwise it wouldn't count as a world record. And in this attempt, which is already a couple of years old, Shijir, who is quite moved here by his achievement, he got a world record with 12.739 seconds, which is even in the memory sports community an unbelievable achievement.
Yeah, I know this video. This is Shijir and he's from Mongolia. He has the world record in memorizing a deck of playing cards. 52 cards. It looks really insane, but it's real. I don't believe that. This guy memorized a deck of playing cards in 12 seconds. This is impossible. This must be scam. Tell me how that works. So, I mean, it's a bit of a longer story. So what he basically does is he has created an image for each card and he puts the images on locations. I know that sounds ridiculous when you see the speed, but it's actually like that. And in my opinion, if someone starts training memory sports just as a hobby, just a daily training, daily practice, I'm pretty sure that most of the people would be able to memorize a deck of cards in maybe 5 minutes. In my opinion, this is something a good hobby memory sports athlete can do. Maybe not everyone, but 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, if everyone can do it in 5 minutes, I think I must be faster than that. I will test that. So how do I test that? I want to find out if it works for me. So I tell you how I started all this, because I feel this is a good way to start things without learning too much in advance. People are sometimes a bit lazy, as I was, so this is how it worked for me. So when I was watching a TV show in 2004, there was a memory coach who was able to memorize 20 words in the right order. And he was also telling a story about how it is possible to memorize a deck of 52 playing cards. That sounded ridiculous to me. I couldn't believe that someone can do that. But he talked about the technique he used, and I tried to reproduce that without too much effort. And in this video, I would like to give you a step-by-step guide how to try that and find out for yourself if it works for you. Step number 1, you need a card system. And by card system, I mean every card must be an image. So you have to transform every single card out of a deck of 52 playing cards into an image. And for that, there are different systems. But to make life very easy for you, I will give you a system. You don't need to memorize it. You can find it in the description on the link. You can print it, you can put it on your laptop, just put it next to you. You can use this list to memorize a deck of cards. The system I give you here is the first system I was in contact with when I started memory training. This is a system from the German memory coach Steffen Bütow, and I would call it the 4-category system. It means that every suit, so diamonds, hearts, spades and clubs, is a different category. For diamonds, you could have a circus. For hearts, you could have the humans, like everything about humans. For spades, you have nature. And for clubs, you could have a club, like a nightclub. So, and now you have the 4 categories. And for each of the 13 values, from 2 to ace, you have a separate image. I will give you some examples. Okay, so all 4 categories, let's go with queen and king. For diamonds, you could have for the queen a tightrope walker. And for the king, you have a ringmaster. Just make sure that for the queen, you might have a female person and for the king, a male person. Makes it easier to memorize. For hearts, you could have either a female or a male doctor. For spades in the nature, you go, who is the king or the queen of the nature? It must be a lion. To separate these lions, it's quite easy. The male lion has this long mane, while the female lion doesn't have it. So easy in front of your inner eye. And last but not least, the club. Let's say you have the DJ. You have the DJ for the queen. For the king, you have this guy who is kicking you out of the club. And this way, you have 8 cards already memorized. Let's say you have the 8. The 8 in the circus could be juggling balls. So like this, you juggling them, looks a bit like that. The 8 of hearts in humans could be the heart itself, because the heart has 2 chambers. And then you have the heart, the human heart. In spades, it could be a snowman, for example. And in the club, the 8 could be the discs from the DJ. In the end, you have a list of 52 images for 52 cards. And I link them in the description. You can use it, but you don't have to memorize it. So that's step number 1. And as step number 2, you need a memory palace. And you can either use your home. Just think of your home. There's your front door. Go inside. What comes next? You can create a memory palace. But if you are lazy, you can also use my palace. It's just 26 items you usually find in an apartment, so that could work as a memory palace. This is step number 2. So you have 1 paper with the cards and 1 paper with your palace. The palace is in a specific order, so don't mix it up. Go with number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. It's just 26, but I will tell you why it's 26 in a second. Step number 3 is take a deck of cards, put your lists on the table, shuffle the cards and turn around the first card. What you do now is check out what the card means. If you have drawn the king of spades, then it's obviously the lion. Imagine the lion. Now take a second card. Let's say it's the 8 of diamonds. What were the 8 of diamonds? Check the list. It's the juggling balls. So now you have a lion and the lion is juggling with the balls. And the third step is connected to your memory palace, in this case, to your list. The first item on your list is a door, like it is in most apartments. And imagine in front of this door, there's a lion juggling. And that's it. You turn around the 2 cards, don't shuffle them please, put them away and go with the next 2 cards. And you do that as long as you want. You can do that for the whole deck, or if you want, go with half a deck. It's also good. Make sure that you have the right order of the 2 images. For example, it could happen that instead of the lion and then the juggling balls, it could be the juggling balls and then the lion. In this case, you have to create a different story. Put it in the different order, like the juggling balls are in front of your door and the lion is jumping on it.
Or you might even see juggling balls juggling a lion.
Also possible. Be creative, make your own story, and then go to the next location, meaning to the second item of your item list. Turn around the next 2 cards, create a story, and put this story on the next location. So you can continue doing that for all 52 cards, meaning you have 26 images and 26 little stories on your locations. Take your time, that's important. Don't rush it. You cannot do that in 12 seconds now, maybe at some point, but if you're capable of doing that within 15 to 30 minutes, it's totally fine. Just do your stories. When I say just do your stories, I really mean it. Don't go always back. That's what people sometimes do. They create a story, imagining the story, do another one and a third one, but then people are like, okay, what was the first one? I have to recall, I have to review. You don't have to. Trust the story. Just go once. Just create your stories and see what's happening. Trust this technique. Trust your memory. Because if you always go back, it takes a lot of time and you will not get the same effect. So, and when you're done with that, the last step, of course, is the recall. And the recall in this case is very easy. What you do, you have your deck of cards, don't shuffle it. You have your deck of cards and you think about the first location. So there's a door. What was in front of the door? You remember there was a lion and the lion was juggling. But what card was it? And that's the point. Maybe you don't know that because you have not memorized it. But in this case, you just take a look and you will find the lion next to the king of spades. You will find the juggling balls next to the 8 of diamonds. So you know it's king of spades and 8 of diamonds. And the cool thing now is turn the cards over. It will be the king of spades and the 8 of diamonds. And trust me, the more you go into it, the more you think you did a magic trick to yourself because it looks so insane. At least it did for me. And it helped me to understand the technique very well without doing all the effort. And when you have memorized this deck of cards in maybe 15 to 13 minutes, it's a great thing. Think of it. You just memorized 52 playing cards in the right order. Many athletes I meet in the memory sports community have done exactly that. They memorized their first deck in between 15 and 13 minutes. So you can do it too if you use this approach. And when I was done with that, it was really mind-blowing for me because in this moment I knew that the only thing what still separates me from actually memorizing a deck of playing cards is having a memory palace with 26 locations and having memorized this category system. And I was sure I can do that. And even if it would take a month to just memorize this list, in the end, I would be able to memorize a deck of cards. I just need this tool in my head. The category system is quite straightforward, and I'm pretty sure you already memorized a couple of these cards. Maybe that's your first step into the world of memory training, memory techniques and memory strategies. Give it a try and write down in the comments how it worked for you. How did it work for you, my friend? Yes, I tested it. And when I did it for the first time, it took me 20 minutes. So you were lying. How can I do 12 seconds? You did it in 20 minutes. It's a great thing. Yeah, it's not 5 minutes, but it's still a great thing. And to become faster and beat the 5 minutes, of course you have to train, but you will do that. I was very sure because you said everyone can do it in 5 minutes, so I'm a bit better than everyone. But maybe I get to the training and then I come back to you and prove you are wrong. As always, thank you for nothing. Feel free to come back. I will start the cards series here soon and give you more insights into the world of memorizing playing cards because there's much more into that than the 4 category system. So thank you very much for watching and keep on memorizing.